Good morning, children. Today again, one more online video will start. We have studied melting, boiling, and the effect of pressure in the last class. So today we have to continue with the next part of the lesson that is related to evaporation. So until now, we have studied that we need to supply a heat or a change in the pressure to convert a state from one state of matter to other state of matter. Similarly, if you take a liquid, can the change of a state from liquid to vapor takes place without reaching its boiling point or not? That we will study in today's class. So we have experienced drying of wet clothes in air. In this process, what happens? Water directly changes into vapor form without reaching its boiling point. So one more example I will tell you regarding this. So you have seen in your day-to-day life when you kept a water contained dish at one corner of a room, allow it to stay like that, which is uncovered for 4 to 5 days. What you will see, slowly all the water which is there in the dish is converting into vapor without reaching its boiling point. So this process is known as evaporation. The particles of matter, irrespective of the state at the given temperature, they possess different energies. So examples related to evaporation are like a drying of wet clothes, already I mentioned, and drying of a wet floor also, where after a few minutes, all the water which will be on the floor will be evaporated. So this is also a conversion of a state occurs from a liquid state to vapor state. Here you have to remember, so when I told you have to take a dish containing a water and keep the dish uncovered at one place of your room. So what happens? I told that after a few days you will see that no water is left in that dish. So actually what is happening in this process? So the particles of a liquid which are constantly moving in different directions. What happened at that instant? The particles they move randomly. When they move randomly, what happened? They collide with one another. Here, in the sense of particles, you know why I am talking in the uh, particle, because water is also in the particle nature. So this is all the theory I am explaining from the starting, that all the matter consists of particles. So due to the collisions, what happened? What is meant by collision? Dashing each other. The particles of the liquid are moving with a different speed, and thus they possess different amount of kinetic energy. What is kinetic energy? Kinetic energy is nothing but related to speed of the particles along with their mass. This you in detail you will learn in ninth standard. So at any given temperature, this kinetic energy, the sum of the particles on the surface of the liquid may be so high that they overcome the forces of attraction from the neighboring particles, and they leave the liquid and get converted into vapors. So in other way also we can discuss what is that. In liquid, the particles at the surface possess higher energy than the particles in the bulk of water. That means when you take a dish, top level of the water is known as surface, and the bottom of the container where the water is present, that is compared as bulk of water. The particles on the surface are able to break away from the forces of attraction of other particles and then slowly converts into vapor state. Now the definition of evaporation is, it is a phenomenon of change of a liquid into vapors at any temperature below its boiling point is called evaporation. That means you see the drying of clothes at all the seasons, irrespective of sunny day or winter or rainy day. But the drying of clothes varies on sunny day as intensity of sun will be more. So you can see drying of clothes will be faster there. On a rainy day, drying of clothes will be very slow. On a cloudy also, the drying of clothes will be very slow. So that means you have to remember in this way. The conversion of a state occurs at any temperature. The water from the clothes gets converted into vapor and get mixed into the atmosphere. So this is the process of evaporation once again, children. To understand the factors affecting this evaporation, we have to discuss one activity related to that. So what you have to take is, take a 5 ml of water, each in a test tube and in a china dish separately, and keep them under the fan. And take one more china dish filled with 5 ml of water, and that should be kept in the cupboard. Now, if you want to record the temperature, room temperature, you can record. If you don't have a thermometer also, nowadays, we can use your ACs to know at that particular day what is the temperature, you can know. Okay. So, and time taken for the evaporation of water also, you have to check in all these three cases. What is the case? One is water taken in a test tube. The other one is water taken in a china dish. The other one also water taken in a china dish. But second china dish is kept in the cupboard, whereas other two are kept under the fan. So you have to repeat this activity on the rainy day also to understand how slow the evaporation process takes place. Already I have explained before what is the process of evaporation. One more thing you have to note down, in which case evaporation is faster, or what do you infer? Infer means what do you conclude about the effect of surface area and wind speed on evaporation. So in the three ways we have seen, one is test tube and china dish kept under the fan. The other one is china dish which is filled with water. It is kept in the cupboard. So on the whole, we have to decide that evaporation will be faster in 5 ml of water in a china dish. So, one more conclusion is that with increase in surface area and the wind speed, the rate of evaporation increases. The china dish, which is kept under the fan, as compared to the surface area of china dish with the test tube, china dish has a more surface area. So these two reasons you have to keep in the mind. So that is the reason evaporation is faster in 5 ml of water in a china dish which is kept under the fan. Factors affecting evaporation. First one is surface area, second wind speed, third one is temperature, fourth one is humidity. So here comes the first factor, that is surface area. The evaporation is a surface phenomenon, that is only the particles on the surface of the liquid gets converted into vapors. So whatever the example I quoted, where surface area of a china dish is greater than the surface area of a test tube, that applies here. So thus greater is the surface area, more is the rate of evaporation, where there is a more scope of escaping of particles from the surface into the atmosphere. This we apply in day-to-day situation. For example, if we spread the clothes in order to dry them in the air, what we do? The surface area available for evaporation of water increases and hence the clothes get dried up soon. Now, second factor is increase in temperature. We know that from our day-to-day experience that evaporation of water becomes fast if the atmospheric temperature is high. That means, in other words, we have to remember that evaporation of a liquid occurs at a faster rate in summer than winter. So, what is the reason for this? The temperature increases, the kinetic energy of the particles of the liquid also increases. Therefore, they can easily overcome the forces of attraction of the neighboring particles on the surface of the liquid, which is contained in a container or any surface. Hence, they can easily get converted into vapors. As a result, what happens? Evaporation occurs at faster rate. It is a common observation what we see that wet clothes dry faster on a windy day. The reason for this with, for this is with an increase in wind speed, the particles of water move away from the wind, therefore decreasing the water vapor in the surrounding. As a result, the rate of evaporation increases. We can find this in hot and humid weather. We sweat a lot. Therefore, we usually sit under the fan. The fan increases the wind speed around us, thereby increasing the rate of evaporation and making us feel more comfortable. Fourth one is decrease in humidity. So what is humidity? The amount of water vapor present in air. It may be noted that around us can hold only a certain or a definite amount of water vapors at a particular temperature. In case the humidity of air is already high, the amount of water vapors in the air is already high. So it can hold only a little more amount of water vapor to reach its maximum level. In that case, the rate of evaporation may be decreased. It is because of this reason the clothes get dried slowly during a rainy season when the humidity of the air is high than in dry weather when the humidity is low. Similarly, we sweat a lot in hot and humid weather than in dry weather. The reason is that in hot and humid weather, the air around us already has high percentage of water vapor. Therefore, the sweat that comes out of our skin does not evaporate and it remains sticky to our body. So that is the thing we feel during hot and humid climate, and this occurs only near the coastal areas. We feel more this type of hot and humid climate, and nowadays we are feeling the same thing. I hope so. In today's class, we have learned definition of evaporation and the factors affecting the evaporation like surface area, humidity, temperature, and wind speed. So I hope in today's class you have understood, children. So again, I'll meet you in the next online video class. Have a great day, children.